All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. This is Rob here at Smirking Gun Reviews. Back to talk more Walking Dead Season 11. Today we're on Episode 6. Yes, these are early access videos. Even the one that I just posted, I wanted to run a little test. And seeing as how I know I don't get a lot of views, I was like, well, maybe I should put Episode 5's review out, like, the day before of, and see what happens. I saw what happens. I need to leg up, and paying for AMC Plus just to get a few extra people to see, listen to what I have to say. Well, I'm releasing this one like day that it releases on early release. It's $5. If you love Walking Dead and you got $5 extra, just pay the $5. You get to watch it a week early. Who cares? If you need the ritual, I understand though. But I'll tell you what. I will always, if somebody's offering me that deal for that cheaper price for a show I love, I don't know how more people aren't doing it. So anyway, if you like what we're doing here on the channel, don't forget to hit the like button. If you're new to the channel and you're not a subscriber, please become a subscriber. It helps me out with motivation. And if you're returning, of course, welcome back. It's, again, I do these really early in the morning. It's like 7:46 in the morning here, which means I've been up doing this and setting this up for a little while. This is On the Inside. And, sometimes they do these things and they're not that clever. And sometimes they do them and they are pretty clever. And this one falls in that pretty clever kind of range as far as the title goes and what happens in there, because there's a lot of things on the inside walls. You got the inside man with Daryl, so you got people literally on the inside of the walls and under the houses and in, like everybody's in something. So that's pretty cool. They do it all over the place. So the title works. I don't usually talk about the titles too much, but this one really, because of how evident it fit with the story, boom. Now, this also has Kevin Carroll, who was introduced back with where Michonne was looking for Rick. The guy kind of grifted her into helping him, and now he's back here. He's found Connie, and they've been on the run after she survived her experience in the cave and has been walking with the dead for a while, and so she's all messed up. This guy's not quite all there either. He's been through some stuff. He reminds me of like a Morgan-ish character, except without the super mad freaking skills. Because they even said, I don't like watching the after the video thing that they have out, the behind the scenes where Angela Kang says, Virgil's got skills. And I went, what the fuck are you talking about? What episode were we watching where he's just going like this against zombies? Arr, arr. It's a lot of grunting and pounding and pushing. I can do that. So I don't know what she's talking about. But I do like Kevin Carroll because he was on The Leftovers. He's a good actor. The return of Lauren Ridloff, who, man, I like this actress a lot. So we got two different stories here. We got the Daryl and the Reapers trying to find Maggie and Negan and our group. And then we got Connie in this crazy-ass house. Guess which story is better? It's Connie's story. So we're going to talk about the Daryl stuff because let's get that out of the way, right? Let's get that out of the way because look, I love Daryl. I love him. I do. And I remember the good old days where we would say the mantra was, if you kill Daryl or Carol, we riot. Well, they listened to us. They listen to us, and Daryl and Carol are fine. They killed a lot of other people that probably wouldn't have died along the way because of it to make sure that you guys were happy. But in doing so, we've made them so popular that now there's enough, right? So that means you've taken away the stakes. You no longer fear for Daryl. You no longer fear for Carol. Yes, there are great character moments. As long as they progress as characters, right, then it's all good. You know, we get this attachment to them. We don't have Rick. We don't have Carl. We don't have Michonne. We have almost nobody left but the two core people that we will really, really love. These were side characters that got elevated to the status that they're at. Daryl was always good in the role he played. I had problems with him getting up to the main character because the character itself is a lone wolf and doesn't work well with others all the time and really likes to roam. That's a hard character to make a leader. People look up to him, and he's played wonderfully, but I've always had issues with this because he just didn't have the kind of command that Rick Grimes has. He's both of them were the unwilling, they didn't want leadership, but they took it, even though I think deep down Rick, kind of got into it. And Carol was the survivor who, just became a force of nature, and she's a leader now. And I think she does really well with her position in Alexandria. So to me, Carol's more of the leader, and Daryl's still kind of like that second in command kind of character. This is not a diss on the actors or the characters. I'm just presenting it as as I see it. And again, if you don't agree, it's fine. I don't care. But my point is that we've been, over the years, everybody always wants a piece of Daryl. They either want a piece of him to kill him, or they want a piece of him to, join him. And we've done all this back and forth over the course of this series, and without stakes, right? When I was talking about their spinoff. Without stakes, a lot of this is just kind of, I'm not worried about we were talking, I guess I was talking also about if their arcs continue. But I kind of feel like they're both kind of stuck right now. After the Whispers, Carol's kind of got a lot of stuff off her back. And now she's just got to move forward. And she's haunted. And all these characters are haunted. But that's par for course. And Daryl, like I said, though, they just keep running him the same kind of storylines. Now, this plot is slightly different because we have the Lynn Collins character who he's into. And so that's, to me, the only thing that makes this different, but somehow still feels the same. And the Reapers are, to me, we're really scooping the bottom of the barrel because they're like saviors without a Negan. Because Pope is, I don't have anything against Richie Coster, the actor, but I have the character of Pope is just, he got us through, so we got to follow him. Yeah, but he's throwing our own guys in the fire. When your leader starts doing that shit, and you're supposed to be a family, and I know that these people are probably a little bit brainwashed or whatever, but I don't know how they haven't turned on each other. This is how quickly the guy can just start killing his own people after having a run-in with Maggie's group, right? So this guy, to me, is just bargain basement bullshit. And when we run into Daryl here in this, and they're torturing one of Maggie's guys, right? And Daryl don't know him from fucking Adam. Neither do we, right? Neither do we. We don't know who this guy is. I don't know what this guy's name is. He is Faceless Maggie Soldier number whatever. Now, the human in me sees somebody being tortured, and I'm like, yeah, but this is this sucks. Oh God, the guy, they're really running into the, But watching it from an entertainment story standpoint, I don't fucking give a shit about what happens to this guy. He's not getting out of here, right? He's not going to make it out of this room. He's not going to make it out of. They're not going to suddenly say, "Hey, you want to join up?" So I immediately just don't care because they, they bring Daryl into like, "Hey, want to take a shot at this guy?" I'm like, "What?" Daryl's got a knife. All he has to do, and I don't care. Look, it's writing. It's how they're choosing to take the story. I see you put a knife in Daryl's hand, right? And yeah, he cares about Lynn Collins because I can't remember her character's name because I don't care that much about what her character name is. If he takes the knife, stabs the first guy, the one that wants to kill him, just stab him right in the fucking head. Before Lynn and the other guy can react, you can turn on both of them too and be out of there. Like, she would probably be stunned, like, oh! But you'd have the chance to take out both those guys and just get the fuck out of there. I know they want to drag this out. He's there for her. He wants to get her out. But and since Daryl knows this guy's not getting out of here, he's got to make it kind of look good. And he does a little bit. But again, like this, Norman Reedus's performance is a little like just, there can be fire. I've seen him be fire, like if you know what I'm saying, like intense, really intense. But there's a lot of this just kind of quiet, still brooding. And we need intensity from him a lot more than we get. And so I'm like, if I don't believe that you're really going to do anything, of course these people behind you don't. And there's another running thing throughout this episode is, you don't really think that this guy's on our side. And it's like, no, he's not. Obviously he's not. This plot is another cliche of the guy who, pretends to be on the inside and he's clearly not. And he's always challenging the one guy that like has to always say like, hey, he's going to turn on us. He's really one of them. In the real world, man, Daryl would be fucking dead. Oh, dead. I kind of had a weird swap. Daryl would be dead. Because people don't just go, hey, you know what? No, fuck you. We got to kill this guy. He's seen our faces and, But we're in a post-apocalypse, so like all the real way people really act would go, thrown out the window. No, because one of the things that this show, prides itself on is human nature. And in this case, to me, human nature would say, no, this guy's killed a bunch of us. We should have him in the chair. Your feelings. Let's get what we want out of him. Oh, he's a good fighter. I don't care. He's survived out here this long. His line of bullshit isn't believable of how, I've just been walking around. Bullshit. He looks great. If he was all by himself, man, he'd probably look a lot rougher. He'd probably have a beard down to fucking here, like. So, yeah, he starts cutting fingers off the guy and he gives him an address. They go to the address. Negan and Maggie hide inside the walls. They're in like a crawl space. They're, trying to just sneak out of there, find an opening. Daryl probably knows that they're there. He's not giving anything away, He's telling her, at least he straight up says, I'm only here for her. So there's that. We get that out of the way. But like they throw in lines like, oh, we better sweep the rest of the house. Like, because they see some evidence they were there. It's like, no shit. Did you really have to tell us that? Of course you're going to do that. And we also have the whole thing with, we got, like, they were going to search the whole town and then they just gave up. After the whole house. They just, oh, there's the crawl space. Oh, they must be gone. Except they're just outside. They are just outside the house. They're just leaving now. You could actually go out the back and catch them. I don't want them to be caught, but they literally should have shown them like down the road a ways, not just literally leaving, because they could have just caught them. And then, when Daryl says that Pope scares him, I was like, bullshit. Pope doesn't scare Daryl. None of these guys scare Daryl. it's and again, all these people look really clean, by the way. Like, did you see the guy that really hates him with his like completely freshly cleaned face? Like, I guess they have a lot of because they're how where are all these razors that everybody keeps around that keeps everybody perfectly coiffed? You know, like I have to continuously, if I want to keep my beard at a certain length, I'm constantly every fucking day doing this shit. I know it's but suspension of disbelief, but come on. All these people, all these dudes, every dude on this show should have fucking crazy ass facial hair. Even the women. There should be women. The women. There should be like scrubby shit all over the women. Like a lot of the you know niceties, a lot of the like shit that we have here would just go out the window. Would just go out the window. These women would have hairy legs, hairy pits, mustaches, scraggle under their chins. I'm not saying I want that. I'm just saying that that's what it would be, and we've kind of gone off the rails on that. But you know, they come back, and that's it with Daryl's story. We really it was just it didn't really further the plot. It's just there to fill in the rest of this story that was more interesting, which was Connie's, which was an excellent like haunted house story. I thought this was really, really well done. Look, I talked shit a lot about this the first part of this video, but this stuff was really good. Now Virgil, no, he doesn't have skills. But what they do here with the silence and how they portray her deafness and let that build intensity and tension and actual genuine scare. Like this was pretty scary. Again, I've seen this kind of thing before, but not on this. And they did it really well. And where they had me, where they really threw me for the loop, was when the wall came sliding in between her and Virgil. Because up till then, it was like, yeah, they're on the run, they're in the house. She's having major PTSD, because of course she would. She was left behind in a cave-in with the dead. She's hiding amongst them forever, finally gets away, and now she's still on the run with Virgil as they head into this house. And she hasn't slept. And now she sees an eyeball behind the walls. And even I was like, well, maybe she is just really seeing things. But when the wall comes between them, I went, okay, now we're talking. We're not doing just some psychological bullshit that's just all in her head, and which is realistic. But I wanted something fun. I wanted something exciting from this episode, and they finally delivered it here. We finally got to see something weird and original for this show. A new kind of thing. And it's done and over in one episode, and it was really cool. And that's why you can say, ooh, this is a kind of a standout episode. Because like I said, they film it silently at times, and then hit you with the music at the right moment. Trying to picture things from her perspective. And you find out that this family that's lived there brings people there, herds them into this place, traps them behind the walls because they're inside the walls, on the inside again, and then kill people and eat them. And they've gone feral. And I don't know what it takes. Like, again, it lets your imagination run wild. It lets you come to your own conclusions of what this story, the backstory is. You know, like if this was a video game, you'd probably find notes, you know, like hidden of like the story that took place here, like as they slowly lost their sanity, you know, like Resident Evil style or something. And that's pretty cool and pretty scary. And when she's inside the walls and he's on the run and the thing comes, you know, the person comes behind him, that was pretty great. Again, showing that the Virgil has no skills. I don't know what you're talking about, Angela. He's on the ground getting choked out. And if it wasn't for her tapping on the wall really hard and distracting him, he wouldn't have been able to stab the guy. which would be a mortal wound for these people. That's it. Like, you get stabbed, you get hurt like this, and you're in this state of mind, you're dead. Again, it's like we're coming in at the very end of this tragic story of what happened to these people. Maybe they were assholes to begin with, but I have a feeling they weren't. You know, they're just a regular ass family. And Virgil talks about the whole thing with Michonne, which I completely forgot about. I completely forgot that that's where we were introduced to this. Was her looking for Rick. And how he was lost himself, and, you know, he talked about clear in that episode, like, the island's not clear, and I was like, okay, this guy, he's a Morgan Light. He's, you know, but without the skills. But that he's trying to make up for it, and he's been hurt here, and it is, you know, like I said, Kevin Carroll's a good actor. And they decide to take it to these things, and that was a good standoff, and he gets hurt some more, and then she guts herself up and lets the dead in, and all the dead and these feral people attacking each other, and it's just pretty hopeless for those people. It's the end of the line. It's the end of the trapping people in their house to eat them. You know, like the bones on the floor and everything was really creepy. You know, thinking of people like crawling through their house and stuff. It's really unsettling, but really well done. And for a change, I can say, like, this gave us something unique and different for this show. I've seen this before, just not here. And when you can do something that you've seen before and give it a new look and a new taste, you know, I really liked this aspect of the show. Now, you also got a little bit of like the Callie running off to find Connie. Look, here it is. Is it brave? Was Callie running off brave? Sure. Was it understandable because she's her sister and she's out there? Yes. Is it incredibly stupid and thinking, like, not thinking things through? Abso-fucking-lutely. Because then they all have to come chasing after her, which we know they'll do, and they don't even say anything like, hey, you know, we understand, but we had to just eat one of our horses. Okay? You're running off with not just something that we use as a means to get around, but as a possible food source for the rest of them. Think of the children. What if we need to kill another horse? Like I said, I understand the intensity, but just taking off like that is stupid and foolish. And you're looking to get killed, and I don't care. You've lived this long. You wait for help. They were making a plan. They're taking too long. We don't even get to see that part where she obviously thinks they're taking too long. I know how it is when you have family and you want to help them. But like I said, you survive this long with other people. Wait for the other people. Why do we have to have this scene? Because she just falls in the mud and they catch up anyway. Is it because we need time to fill? I don't know. But they do have a nice tearful reunion, which is great. The two sisters finally find each other, and that's great. And that's the end of the episode. And like I said, the Daryl stuff, you know, and it's not even just the Daryl. It's the Reaper story. It's all this. It feels like it's coming to a head. I hope it comes to a head. I hope it ends after episode 8. I think we can wrap up the Reapers in 2 episodes before the break and we come back in 2022. Because I don't want to come back to these characters. I don't want to come back to Pope. They're not interesting. We need to get more into the Commonwealth and bringing, you know, our group, like what's going on with Eugene and Princess and Yumiko and Ezekiel needs to find its way to our characters, so that way we can have bridge that gap, like the distance it takes to get there and everything else that goes along. We're going to see a lot of crazy stuff, I think, along the way. This part needs to end. Maggie and Negan need to find something to, like, they need to have it out before episode 9, before this arc ends, before this like block of episodes ends. But we'll see. I'll see you next week. So if you like what you like this review, please hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe, and the bell for all notifications. If you hated everything that I said, well, I'm going to show you something about our character Pope. For those of you who don't remember, maybe this will be a better memory. It's a little moment of Richie Coster's. If you did like this, make sure to put on shades, look out of the way. If you have sensitivity to light, get the fuck out of here. As we give these people a different memory. All right, this guy really likes dogs. Have a good one. See you next week.
Right dogs are hungry! Pity there's only one of you.